morning, students. Today we are going to see the 18th chapter of Evs1, that is the environment and us. Okay, so let's see what is there in this chapter. Points. Now, today, which points we have to cover? First is deforestation, pollution, the need to maintain environment balance, our needs and the environment, global efforts for the protection of environment, efforts to maintain biodiversity. These all points today we are going to learn. Now see, can you tell, will water and food source for living things grow or dwindle? Why? Water and the food sources for living things grow or dwindle. Dwindle means ke kam ho raha hai. Why? Okay. If forests are cleared, the mountain of rain will become less and the amount of food required will dwindle. If the forests are cleared, now what is happening? Because of the population, we are cutting the forest and we are making their buildings for our living. Okay, now if forests are cleared, what will happen? The amount of rain will become less. The rain will become less, and the amount of food, as we all know, we are getting foods, okay, from the forest also. So amount of food required will dwindle. Will the living things look for shelters elsewhere or stay on? Why will the living things, the second question is, the living things look for shelters elsewhere or stay on? Why is it? Because the answer, the living thing will look for shelter elsewhere. If forest is cleared, because forest is their home. Now what is happening? The living things who is living in the forest, okay, now where they for shelter elsewhere, they will go elsewhere or they will stay there only. Okay, so the living, what is the answer? The living things will look for shelter, okay, elsewhere. It forest is cleared because forest is their home. If we will clear our home, what we will do? If there is no home for us, we will go here and there na, to stay, to save for to we will see a new place for staying. Okay, so the living things who are living in the forest, they will also do the same. Correct na? Now the third question: will the space occupied by the plants and animals increase or decrease? The space occupied by the plants and animals increase or decrease? Okay, what will be the answer? The space occupied by the plant and animal will decrease because that is cleared will be used for other purpose. Now whatever space is for by the plants and animals will decrease. Why? Because forest that is cleared will be used for other purpose. Why we are clearing the forest? For our other purpose. So the animals and the plants who are there in that forest will be decreased, they will not increase. Will the number of living things increase or decrease? The number of living things will increase or decrease? The number of living things will decrease, obviously decrease, because forests provide food, shelter, and water. Okay, the forest provide us food as well as shelter also and water also. So when there will be no forest, so the number of living things will automatically decrease. Now deforestation. Now, what is deforestation? See, the population of the world is now close to 600 crore. Man is developing new technology to meet the needs of all these people and is using up more and more land and water resources for this purpose. Now, what is happening? The population is all over the world. Okay, now they are close to the 600 crore. 600 crore तक के population जो है पहुंच चुकी है. Now what man is developing new technology, as we daily you can see new technology. You can see, for example, पहले radio, फिर TV, now mobile phones, computer, laptop, refrigerator, AC. So we are having new technology. Okay, we are developing new technology and is using up more and more land and water resources. When they are making a new technology, they need more and more land, okay, and water resources for these purposes. Open space are required on a very large scale. Okay, open space are required on a very large scale for agriculture, housing, industry, and for building roads and railways. So why open space are necessary? For agriculture, for housing, for industry, for building, for constructing a building, roads, and for a railway. All such things we need a open space. Forests are cut down to make place for them. Why we are cutting the forest? To make such a place. Marshy or low-lying areas are filled to reclaim the land. Now marshy and low-lying area are filled to reclaim the land. What they are doing? The marshy land or low-lying area lands are there. They are filled to reclaim that the land. Okay. Now see the next. The environment provide, just a minute. The environment provides shelter to different kind of living things. Now the environment is providing a shelter to different kind of living thing. Different kind of living thing is living in a world, and environment providing a different kind of shelter to a different kind of living things. Okay. There are many types of plants in forest. We all know different type of plants are there in the forest. Birds build their nest in trees. Where the birds are building their nest, the birds are build their nest in trees. Animal like the bear, deer, monkey, elephant, tiger all live in the forest. Okay, these all are wild animals. So where the wild animal live, mostly bear, deer, which they are very dangerous. For example, bear, deer, tiger, elephant. So they are living in the forest. Okay, ये सारी चीजें आपको कहाँ पर मिलेंगे? या तो फॉरेस्ट में या तो फिर हमारे जू में. That is why they find shelter in the forest. When bear, deer, monkey, etc., such animal is living in the forest, they also need a shelter, correct? Without shelter, no one can live. Even an ant is also making the shelter. Ant hill, you have learned. Okay, so all are having the shelter. All their needs are met in the forest. All their needs, whatever needs are there for such animal, which is given in example: bear, deer, monkey, lion, tiger, elephant. They all, they these animal, they are getting their needs in the forest only. Whatever needs they want, they are getting in the forest only. If the forests are reduced, biodiversity is also depleted. If we will reduce the forest, reduce means if we will cut the forest, we will clear the forest, it will affect the biodiversity. Okay, वो biodiversity का जो discipline है उसको disturb कर देंगे. What they will do? They will, if they are not having a forest, they are not having a shelter, what they will do? They will come and stay with us. Correct? Correct, na? They will come and stay with us. So is it possible that we can stay with that type of animals? No, because yes. So this is not, deforestation means to cut the trees, to clear the forest. Okay. Now see the next page. Pollution. We all know there is two word: population and pollution. Okay, Don't get confused. Now we are learning about pollution. You have seen how many water sources get polluted if wastewater is let into them without processing. Now here we can see how the water sources get polluted. जो जहाँ से हमको water source sources means what, from where we are getting a water, that is known as a water sources. They are getting polluted. Why? Because wastewater mix them without processing. Okay, many times the wastewater mixed in the sources of water, and it get polluted. Why polluted? Because the wastewater is not processed, it's not cleared. Okay, उसको clear किए बिना mix कर दिया जाता है. Now see the first picture: wastewater flowing out from a factory into a surrounding. Now wastewater is flowing from outside from a factory into the surrounding. So this also affect wastewater from factories enter wastewater bodies. Now wastewater, which wastewater is coming from the factories. Okay, जो फैक्ट्री से वेस्ट वाटर आता है, they directly enter to the water bodies. So this all water mix into a fresh water and they get polluted. Now see, wastewater is also given out from factories into the surrounding. Now, what is wastewater given out from factories into the surrounding? If water from such polluted sources keeps into the soil become infertile. Now, the wastewater, when they are flow out from the factories, okay, and they are kept in the, they are soaking, okay, the soil. Soaking means जब पानी अगर समझो खराब पानी कुछ जमीन पे गिर गया और वो सोक करके वो सूख रहा है, ठीक है, सो दिस सॉइल बिकम इनफर्टाइल मीन्स इन वो काम में नहीं आती, खराब हो जाती है सॉइल. सो वी कांट do agriculture on that soil. Chemical fertilizer and pesticides are used on a large scale for agriculture. Now, chemical fertilizers and pesticides, they are used on a large scale for agriculture. For agriculture, we are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides. They seep into the soil or finally flow into river with the rain water. What they are doing, they seep in the soil. Soil में वो बैठता है और they finally flow into the river with rain water. What the वो जो है river से flow हो जाते हैं, जो chemical fertilizers होता है, pesticides होता है, okay, they are flow into the river with rain water. Due to several such reasons, water and soil get polluted. Because of such reason, the soil and water get polluted. This is dangerous for the plant and animals there. In such places, the plants and animals is living. Such places, it is very dangerous. Okay, their number and eventually they die out altogether, that is they become extinct. The number reduce means one by one they are dying, so the number of plant and number of animal get reduced, and at final what they become extinct. Extinct means वो एक तरीके से खत्म हो जाते हैं वहां पर. Now see here, fuel is used in all homes. Okay, we all know we are using fuels. Okay, beside there are big industries and factories in which fuel is used in great quantities. If some factories or industries are there beside your home, you have seen that they are using fuel in a great quantities. Okay, on the one hand, tremendous quantities of carbon dioxide enter the air due to burning of fuels. What is happening if you have a industry or factory beside your home, you can see that they tremendous quantity of carbon dioxide. There are lots of carbon dioxide enter in the air, okay, because of the factories. due to burning of fuel. When they burn the fuel, on the hand, due to large scale on the other hand, due to large scale deforestation, the number of trees available for absorbing this carbon. Now there are number of trees in the areas. So what they do? They are absorb that carbons. Okay, वो लोग खुद में ले लेते, absorb कर लेते. Oxides is dwindling. As a result, the proportion of carbon dioxide in the air is rising continuously. When what is happening, listen here now. फैक्ट्री या इन इंडस्ट्री जो होती है, धुआं जब छोड़ती है, दे आर हैविंग अ लॉट्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. ओके, वो एरिया में क्या हो जाता है, लॉट्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हो जाता है. आफ्टर दैट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, द ट्रीज एब्जॉर्ब दैट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड दे आर गिविंग द सेम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू अस. सो वो कंटिन्यूसली चलते ही रहता है वो एरिया में. See, you can see the picture. Poisonous gases spouting out of chimneys of factories. Now poisonous gases जो एकदम खतरनाक गैसेस होती है, वो देखो बाहर निकल रही है चिमनीज ऑफ फैक्ट्रीज में. Okay, let's see the next page. Beside, when fuels are burnt in vehicle, they give out certain poisonous gases as well as smoke. When the fuels are burnt in vehicles, okay, जब हम गाड़ी चलाते हैं, आप लोग देखते होंगे धुआं वगैरह जो भी निकलता है उसमें से. Okay, so they give out certain poisonous gases. What they are giving? They are giving out certain poisonous gases as well as the smoke. This is also let out some poisonous gases into the air. Industries also let out the poisonous gases. Vehicles also let out the poisonous gases. Okay, and this all affect to us only. This leads to air pollution on a very large scale. This leads to the air pollution. This leads to the air pollution on a very large scale. Now this next point, the need to maintain environment balance. How we will maintain environmental balance? Due to human intervention in nature, large scale changes are taking place in the air. Due to human intervention in nature, okay, large scale changes. Sorry, beta. Due to human intervention means involvement in nature, large scale changes are taking place in the air. Large scale changes taking place in the air, water and land. Also, these non-living or abiotic components are getting polluted. The non-living and abiotic components are also getting polluted. As a result, the existence of living thing is threatened while several living things have already become extinct. As a result, we have to existence of living thing is threatened. Okay, living thing is threatened while several living things have already become. लिविंग थिंग्स इज थ्रेटेड मतलब यानी अभी हम लोगों के ऊपर भी ये आ गया है कि नहीं, अगर आप लोग ऐसे ही एयर पोल्यूशन ये करेंगे तो इट्स अफेक्ट आवर बॉडी. ओके, इट्स अ थ्रेटन टू अस, यानी हमारे लिए डेंजरस है. while several living things have already become extinct, many living things has already become extinct means खत्म हो चुके. if one factor of the environment is damaged, one factor of the environment will get damaged, its relationship with other factor also get affected. When we will when one environment will, one factor of the environment will get damaged, then automatically it will affect to the other factor and environmental balance is disturbed. ओके, अभी जब आप एक एनवायरनमेंट को डिस्टर्ब करते हो तो उससे क्या होता है, दूसरे एनवायरनमेंट भी उससे रिलेशन में जो भी रहते हैं उससे डिस्टर्ब होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल जस्ट नाउ आई हैव गिवन यू द एयर पॉल्यूशन. अब इंडस्ट्री में से एयर निकल रही है, व्हीकल में से एयर निकल रही है, वो किसको इफेक्ट कर रही है, हम लोगों को ही कर रही है. ट्रीज पे इफेक्ट हो रहा है, सराउंडिंग पे इफेक्ट हो रहा है, ह्यूमन बींग्स पे इफेक्ट हो रहा है, तो वो एक्चुअली पूरे एनवायरमेंट को डिस्टर्ब कर रही है। ओके, तो एक एयर ने पूरे एनवायरमेंट को डिस्टर्ब किया, सो दैट इज द पॉइंट दैट वन फैक्टर विल affect, one factor will damage, automatically it will affect to the other and environment factors. Okay, and the environmental balance will disturb. From time to time, some of the living things on the earth become extinct. टाइम टू टाइम क्या हो रहा है, कुछ कुछ लिविंग थिंग्स जो है अर्थ से खत्म होते चले, बट टुडे this process is taking place at a much faster rate. Now today this process is taking at a faster rate. This is a threat for the whole living वर्ल्ड। ये जो है पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए, लिविंग वर्ल्ड जो लिविंग थिंग्स है उनके लिए, सबके लिए डेंजरस है। ओके, global effect, global means world, global effects for protection of the environment, they are having efforts to protect the environment। क्या efforts करते global के environment को protect करे, several projection are being implemented now। several projection यानी बहुत सारे ऐसे project वो लोग बनाते हैं to at the international level to maintain the balance in nature। balance, nature को हम balance में कैसे रखें, for that they are making a different type of projections, projects on the international level। it is important to raise the awareness of people all over the world about the threat to environment balance। it is necessary, it is important to raise the awareness of awareness, मतलब उनको ये चीज से जागरूक करो कि we are having a threat of environmental balance। such now, for example, I am awareing you all people, okay, you all student, I am awareing to my kids that beta be aware with the nature। okay, don't disturb to the nature, so like this all human beings should be aware that we should not disturb the nature। many countries of the world are enacting laws that will help to prevent the pollution of air, water and soil। so now many countries are enacting the laws, they are making the laws that will help to prevent that। why they are making the, why they are enacting the laws, so that they will help to prevent the pollution of air, the pollution of air, water and soil। now biodiversity parks, an area which is reserved for the purpose of protecting and conserving the biodiversity of a region is called a biodiversity park। now what do you mean by biodiversity park? the area which is reserved for the purpose of protecting and conserving the biodiversity। okay, they are reserving the area for the purpose of protecting and conserving the biodiversity, that region is called biodiversity park। in this park, biodiversity is both preserved and studied। in park, biodiversity is both preserved and studied। people visit such a park enjoy being close to nature, this to more concern for nature। now what people visit this park, okay, and they enjoy close to nature, they enjoy such a park, okay, this leads to more concern for nature। now see the national park, some area which are important for the protection and conservation of wildlife are reserved for them। okay, ऐसा कुछ एरिया जो वाइल्ड लाइफ जो रहते हैं, okay, उनको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए जो चीजें एरिया रिजर्व की जाती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल द कसीरंगा नेशनल पार्क, द ताडोबा नेशनल पार्क, दिस आर नेशनल पार्क where the wildlife live, okay, known as a national park। the plant on the earth are destroyed, the number of animals also fall। the plants on the earth, okay, if they, whatever plants are there on the earth, if they will destroy, it will, the number of animal also fall there, the number of animal, why the number fall, because number of animal live in forest only, that is why it is necessary to protect plant in forest, that is why it is necessary to protect the plant in forest। if deforestation is stopped, means to cut the forest is stop, and instead of tree plantation is stepped up. अगर डिफॉरेस्टेशन बंद करके हम प्लांटेशन ट्री प्लांटेशन करना स्टार्ट करें, एनिमल दैट डिपेंड ऑन प्लांट विल गेट प्रोटेक्शन एंड थ्राइव। उनको प्रोटेक्शन मिलेगा एक तरीके से कि हाँ ठीक है, हमारे पास प्लांट्स है, हमारे पास फॉरेस्ट है, तो हम जी सकते हैं। Now see the next page. Mayani Lake has formed due to a dam built on the Chand River in Satara district. Now Mayani Lake has formed due to a dam built on Chand River in Satara district. Flamingos from the Siberia region in North Asia migrate to his lake. Now flamingo from the Siberia region, Siberia area का जो flamingo है in North Asia migrate to this lake. वो क्या चेंज, वो किस में चेंज हो गया, लेक में। Here they build nest and lay eggs. Here the animals they build nest and they lay the eggs. Okay. The baby birds grow big enough to return with them to Siberia. What they are doing, जैसे उनका एक बेबी जो है वो इतना बड़ा हो जाए कि खुद को संभाले, तो वो क्या करते, रिटर्न सिबेरिया में चले जाते। इन द रिसेंट so what is there? Yes, Amazon forest. Yes, Nisha Parmar. Where we are. However, the lake has now been declared a sanctuary for birds. However, now it is declared as a lake. There were a sanctuary of birds, means hundred of birds. There is a Maldhok. Now, what is Maldhok? A great Indian bustard. Okay, Maldhok, the great Indian bustard sanctuary at Nannaj in Solapur district. There are lots of great Indian bustard at Nannaj in Solapur district. These huge weighty birds are famous for their graceful gait. Now, what is these huge weighty birds? Why they are famous? They are famous for their graceful gait. These birds live in open grassland. These birds live in grassland, open grassland. They feed on insect. They, what is their feed? Feed means उनका food क्या है? They feed on insect. As they are hunted for their meat and their eggs. They are hunted for their meat. Now what they are doing? They are hunting their own for their meat and their eggs. Okay, the number is fast dwindling. Now the number is dwindling. Dwindling means खत्म होते जा रहे. Maharashtra state has declared the Nannaj area a sanctuary for the ग्रेट बस्टर्ड. ओके, महाराष्ट्र ने क्या किया हुआ है, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट डिक्लेयर दी नन्नाज एरिया एज अ सेंचुरी फॉर द ग्रेट बस्टर्ड. Now see here, a female bustard and deer. Okay, about 500 kilometers from Pune, on the Pune Ahmednagar highway, the village of Morachi Chincholi is famous for its peacock population. Now where is peacock population? Where the Pune to Ahmednagar highway, you can see the village of Morachi Chincholi. Okay, मोराची चिंचोली में ये फेमस है पीकॉक पॉपुलेशन के लिए. The old well looked after the tamarind trees here have created a favorable environment for the birds. People have found sanctuary in this village. Now What is there? They, the old well looked after tamarind trees. They are tamarind trees are there, and they have created a favorable environment for the birds. They planted a tamarind trees, and they have created a favorable environment for the birds, so that the people have found sanctuary in this village. Now Devra is a boon for all living creatures. Now see, Indian culture give importance to the Indian culture give importance to protection of forest. Now Indian cultures, as we are giving a importance to the protection of forest, correct? The Devrai is an example. Now Devrai is an example. See why example? People believe that a Devrai is really a jungle reserve for God. Now the Indian people believe that the Devrai is really a jungle reserve for the God. Okay, no tree or plant in Devrai is ever cut. No trees and plants is cutted in Devrai. That is why all trees in a Devrai are saved even today. That is why all the trees are safe in Devrai. Maharashtra has many Devrais. In Madhya Pradesh, they are known as Sharanvan. In Madhya Pradesh, Devrai is known as Sharanvan. Devrai gives shelter not only to the plant but also to the animal that live there. Devrai also give a shelter to the plant and animal, as well as animal who live there. Hence, Devrai can be called the centuries of ancient times. Devrai can be called the centuries of ancient time. So here we have completed our 18th chapter, that is environment and us. Okay. Now 51 to last, raise your hand. 51 to last, fast raise your hand, beta. Ashish Yadav unmuted you.
Hello.
Yes, beta. Read this deforestation page.
Teacher, teacher, I have to give myself. The population of the world is now close to 600 crore. Man is developing new technology to meet the needs of all these people, and is using up more and more land and water resources for this purpose. Open space are required on a very large scale for agriculture, housing, industry, for building roads and railways. Forests are cut down to make place for them. Marshy or low-lying areas are filled to reclaim the land.
Okay, beta. Very good. You can mute yourself.
Yeah.
In the next lecture, we will start with a new chapter.